Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Starter Pack Podcast. I don't know why I say welcome back because a lot of people might just be introduced to it this episode, but welcome. I'm Shojiki, and this is Jesse, my other host,
Hi.
and this is
What's going on, guys? It's the Skylander dude. Thank you guys for having me on the Starter Pack Podcast. Appreciate it.
Yep. Now it's time to use you for your clout. So, with that being said, how are you today?
Oh, it's crazy. I'm doing good. How are you guys?
I'm actually doing pretty well. I was on Skylanders stream, as you know, and we had a lot of fun. It was a nice time.
Yeah, I saw him streaming a bunch today. Shout out Skylander and 10K, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I feel like it was just yesterday that he was like not even 1,000 subscribers. They grow up so fast.
Day.
I mean,
honestly.
But he more than deserves it. I mean,
absolutely.
Top tier stuff right there. So shout out him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm really excited for him. I have a feeling that with his high quality stuff, he'll definitely get up there, like closer to Boom and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's his whole goal is like have the most high quality content. I think he's already done that, if not on the base to clearly done that. So good for him, though. Seriously. I mean, not to say any other SkyTuber is not high quality.
No, I see how it is.
40 of them are. It's just you can tell he's got a lot of passion. And
absolutely.
You gotta respect that.
See how it is.
Yeah, I see how it is. You just call me low quality.
No, that I didn't. Hey, apparently I just called everyone low quality, but no, I didn't mean that like that at all. I think everyone's got
it's called
quality.
It's called sarcasm.
No, I'm aware. So, welcome on. We're glad to have you and talk about Skylanders for what, the 8th time now. Not with you, but just with like other people. But yeah, like talking about Skylanders. As you know,
congrats on the 8th episode.
Yeah,
I think it's actually a statistic that like most podcasts don't make it past like episode 6 or episode 7. I should have looked that up before
I'm just built different.
Said that, but you've outnumbered the average podcast, I think.
Yeah.
So there you go.
You know, I'm just cool like that. You know, I want to have all the SkyTubers on, so there's more than 6, so it's just kind of a given.
Yeah, I mean, you're on your way though.
Absolutely. Especially in terms of like the numbers. I feel like the podcast has definitely helped out a ton. I think when I started I was at like 400 and now I'm pushing 600, so I mean not as big as numbers as you or Deer, but you know, I'm growing. I'm a little tiny sprout.
I mean, that's still a crazy number. I mean, people put it into perspective like trying to picture like your amount of subscribers in like one single room.
Yeah, I feel like that's what a lot of people do.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I think about it. I'm just like, all right, 600 people in one room. That's a lot of people, and they all know me, and they're like fans or something.
Yeah.
Except for like the 6% of my audience that's like 50. No, it's like 45 to 56, which is kind of creepy, but.
What? Well, that probably doesn't mean anything. You can put any age on YouTube.
Yeah, I just hope those are fake numbers.
Hey man, some people, Skylanders is for all ages. That's all I'm gonna say.
Definitely. There's definitely a wide range of a wider range of people in the community. I've seen a lot of like itty bitty people and a lot of like old men, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think genuinely, there's different aspects to Skylanders, like whether it's playing the game or collecting, where it truly is for like so many people, different ages.
Yeah, I was at a game store, the one where I work, and I actually met this like 60-year-old lady who's like a big collector in the series.
See, there you go.
Yeah, I'm like, it shocked me. I was telling a couple other people about it, and they were like, "Whoa, is she single?"
Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, I definitely see the wide a range of ages. It's very interesting to see because I feel like everybody, I felt like most people would probably be around 13 to mid 20s.
No, I think it's a little different now. I
No.
think with growing up with the franchise as the game's released, like I feel like a good majority of the people that are left are not the same ones that picked up Sparrow's Adventure when they were still in elementary school, like I was. So I think it's an interesting shift to see, like, the community now, how it's a good mixture of like people just finding the games now when they're much younger, as if they're the same age when I first found the game when it released, which is cool to see.
Yeah. Jesse over here is and I'm pretty sure you may know this, but he's only been a fan for a little over a year now.
Yeah.
And the things that he's contributed to the community are absolutely like mind-blowing. I'm pretty sure you've seen his Lost Islands video.
Yeah, I think that's the. I mean, who hasn't seen that video? That was a big point that a lot of people could hop back on Lost Islands.
Yeah,
Which,
I
speaking
actually
of, I haven't
remember.
played in too long. I should
Yeah.
go back and hit up my island, but it was great to be able to play that again because I played that back in the day when it was still like actively pushing out new alter egos and stuff. So more
Yeah.
nostalgia. Gotta love it.
Yeah. No, I think it was really cool, and he was able to do that within, or not even a year of being a fan. I think at the time it was like what, November. So
It was either October or November.
yeah, which is
So
absolutely
that was less
insane.
than 6 months.
Yeah,
Dang, that's a flex right there.
and within 6 months of me being a fan, you know what I had? A couple of figures and a soiled diaper.
I go, what?
I was like 2 when Spyro's Adventure came out.
Two? Is that an exaggeration?
No, I was either 2 or 3 when we picked up Skylanders Starterpack Adventure. I remember going to like some sort of like E3 showcase of the game, and I instantly became hooked.
When you were 2?
I was like 2 or 3, and I actually beat the whole game as a 2-year-old.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a flex too. You guys are just wow.
we're built different. I don't know, maybe I was just advanced for my age, because here I am at almost 16 and I'm going into college, so I guess it carries on.
Jeez, I guess so. Props to both of you guys.
Yeah.
I'm kind of the same too. So I took the route of going for a GED program or going for a GED because the high schools in our area, they just suck. They are not good. So just decided might as well go to a local might as well go to a local college and just go for getting a GED, and it paid off, and it's much better environment than high school.
Respect.
I agree.
Yeah, whatever you got to do. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've all done our fair share of cool things, and you have too with Sky Sleeves.
Starting off with Sky Sleeves. Love it.
You should actually send me some, because 1, I love free stuff, and 2, I won't hit it with a hammer.
Hey man, there's nothing wrong with testing the durability. I can hook you up with a Sky Sleever too.
What?
Ooh, that'd be like, you'd be a real pookie for that one. I've got some Skylanders that need protection.
That's what they're for. What the heck? What are you gonna sleeve up?
I've got, and I know the SSA ones aren't for superchargers, but I've got an inbox Thrillipede. And
I cannot endorse sleeving your superchargers figure with a Sparrow's Adventure.
For legal reasons.
I have to say that because God forbid something happens. Technically speaking, the superchargers package is like the bubble is a little bit thicker, so the sleeve technically doesn't perfectly fit it. And God forbid it like squishes a figure or something. I can't be liable, and that's why there are specific sleeves for specifically designed figures for their respective games.
Yep, and that's absolutely fair. I've also got an inbox camo and double trouble that needs some sleeves too, so.
Okay.
And then I know Jesse has got a couple of giants. I know he has the metallic Gilgrant. I might pick some up for him as well.
That's a good one.
Thanks, Pookies.
And then we'll do
There
like
were
a
so many
20-minute
times.
video.
You're not required to make a video of any kind. It's just a gift. It's not sponsored.
Nah,
but it's free content.
Exactly.
But I have to say, I can't keep giving out Sky Sleeves, or else Sky Sleeves will not exist.
That's fair,
And
but
everyone's just gonna start asking me
yeah,
for
we can
Sky
just be
Sleeves.
an
I cannot just hand
exception.
out Sky Sleeves that way. Which I should say, at this point, I understand that a lot of people don't like seeing it as a business aspect, which I totally understand. But being completely transparent, at this point in time, I am still net negative in Sky Sleeves. I fully understood the risk going into it. I invested a lot into both the product itself and like everything behind the scenes, whether it's legal fees for registering a trademark or for building the site or stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like
you
there's a
didn't know that.
lot of time and effort that went into this that I was fully aware that I may not even break even on the
Yeah.
first wave of Sky Sleeves.
Wow.
And obviously, I don't think I'm allowed to ask how much you've made, but like for
I
4
won't say a number, but I'll say that it was less than what I've spent so far, which is okay. There's not. I've like fully understood the risk, and that's not to say like Sky Sleeves are over and done with. Like it's still, in my eyes, it's still very successful, and so far, everyone who's talked to me that have either picked some up or that I've given just out to friends for gifts has loved them, and I've asked people like, please be honest, don't just like be biased because I'm either gifting one to you or asking for your opinion. Like I genuinely want to know if there's anything you would do to improve them or how you just like them in general. And
from what
so far, a
I've
lot of people have
seen,
been honest, and I appreciate that.
yeah, from what I've seen, they look great. I like the whole stacking aspect because having multiple inbox Imaginators, you'd want to stack those
Mm.
too. So I think it's really cool that you could now do that with the other figures.
Yeah, I mean that was a big point that I wanted to hit on Sky Slaves is their awkward packaging that does not allow them to stack in any way.
Yeah, and another thing is being able to put them on the wall without the glue failing for some reason, because I've had that happen.
Yeah, me too. I've been there.
Yeah,
I mean, I
so
just want to solve the problem that everyone's had, and I believe I did just that.
yeah, and for $4 a thing, like it's really decently priced. I was expecting like 15 or plus for one.
No, I mean, the goal is to not make a profit. The goal is to build this brand and show off this product that I'm genuinely proud of and genuinely use myself. And
Yeah.
so they're as cheap as I could realistically make them. And they're cheaper when you buy them in bundles.
And it's even cheaper when
Yep.
you can have them shipped to you by the guy himself in bundles.
Well, I don't know about that. let's not pull some strings here. I don't want this to become a whole ad either, so.
Yeah,
'Cause I'm
no,
sure not
and
everyone
I'm
wants to hear
fine
about
with
that.
shouting this out too, because
Well, I
I think
appreciate
the
that.
idea is genuinely a great idea because I know a lot of people either have inbox figures, but they're just kind of sitting in the worst, harshest environments, and I just think it'd be
Yeah.
cool to protect some of that stuff. Which is why I'm gonna talk to you about this because I would like some wink wink. Can you get some starter pack sky sleeves?
So everyone asks me about like a specific size that I haven't made yet. As of right now, as of the recording of this podcast, there's the Spars Adventure sleeve, and then the sleeve that fits Giants and Swap Force core figures, single pack figures. And everyone asks me for different sizes or for starter packs or something else. And at this point in time, there is only those two size sleeves that fit those three games characters, and I can't promise anything further because I can't just make a small batch of these. Like I'm
Right.
ordering these in bulk from my manufacturer, and so in order for one person to comment and say, "Oh, can you make this one sleeve?" I can't just go out and design one sleeve for one person. So there has to be like at
But I
least
can
some
be an exception, right?
no, there are no exceptions. I have to make that clear. So obviously, I would love to make sky sleeves for everything. I have every size package that I want to protect myself. But at this point in time, once I see the success in the sizes that I have now, I'll look into designing other sizes, which I would love to do.
Yeah, because I may or may not have this Wii U Spyro's Adventure starter pack that needs some protection.
Like Japanese Wii U Spyro's Adventure?
Yeah, because it only came out in
Ooh,
Japan.
that's a nice one.
Yeah.
I don't have that one. I would love
I actually, I assume you use the same proxy service when ordering from Japan. Bai
There's a few different ones I've used. That's one of them for sure because I know it has a few different
retailers.
yeah, that you can search from. And
Yeah.
I've had great experience with them. So
Yeah, no,
nothing bad
Bai
to
is
say there.
really good. I ended up getting the Wii U SSA starter pack in really good or I mean, it was in the same condition as the pictures, but they made sure to well protect it, and it turned out great. But
Is it still sealed?
the game itself it's in like the plastic protective thing, but
Hmm.
like the actual starter pack, as far yeah, it's unsealed, unfortunately.
Still a cool piece though. I have the
Very.
game separately, but not the full starter pack.
Yeah, so
That's
now I
awesome.
have two copies of the game. I've got one out of the actual starter pack, and then one in and sealed, which is really nice.
That is awesome. Those starter packs, specifically the Wii U, is probably one of the most rare starter pack from Skylanders as a whole.
I mean, yeah, I could definitely see that, as it was only released in Japan.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's more so like, I don't know if it's like, oh, there were not as many made. I think it's more so like just not a lot of people bought it for the Wii U, because even in Japan the Wii U did not do well.
Yeah. I,
And it
I
was
obviously don't know
also
numbers of production, but
yeah, and it
for
was
I forgot
also
where I
a
saw this, but I saw somewhere that just the Japanese Skylanders did not sell well.
oh
And that's why
no.
there's only Spars Adventure Japanese packaged
Oh, it
figures.
would have been great if we got like some remasters of the other games a few years after the North American ones released, but I guess not.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot
Yeah.
of really interesting history behind Wii U SSA, but obviously we don't have to talk about that the whole time.
I mean, I probably don't know most of it. I'm like I know a lot about the figures, especially the figures that are from the United States or the normally released figures, but
Yeah,
in
you
terms of like
gosh
the
darn
actual game
collector.
production, I don't know a lot of that knowledge.
Yeah. I know that I don't know if the other starter packs were, but I know that in Japan Wii U SSA was a Toys R Us exclusive.
Oh no way!
Yeah.
I,
I've
di- I
Yeah.
got
didn't know
the
that.
I got the Toys R Us sticker on mine and everything, so
Oh really? Does
yeah.
it have an exclusive sticker or just like a
I
price
mean,
tag?
it's I can look at it real quick. I don't know if it's a price tag. I don't remember.
I thought it was just a price tag.
It's not a price tag. Hold up. I'm gonna send you a picture of this and translate it for you.
Yeah, maybe it says only at Toys R Us in Japanese or something,
Possibly.
which would be even cooler.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
So, we get a live translation. I'm gonna send the picture to you first. So there's that, and then let's see what it translates to.
This could be historic. Maybe the first
Toys R
person
Us
to.
purchase sticker. Purchase date March 18th, 2015. We
Wow.
apologize for the inconvenience, but please attach this purchase sticker to the product. Please affix the sticker to the real retailer name, selection of the warranty card, and keep it in a safe place. When returning or exchanging a product, separate receipt is required. It will be required. Japan Toys R Us Kumato store. Oh, so it just straight up doxes whoever bought this.
Well,
Unless
I
it
guess
was
that's
back in
not an
2013.
exclusive sticker.
Yeah,
Or
it's
put that
just
on everything, but
I wonder how much it did cost. I don't see a price tag. I see a Nintendo seal of quality, but that's it.
I used to know what the single pack figures released at in Japan. I want to say it was 1100 yen, but that could be wrong. Maybe like 800 yen. I don't know. I used to know, but I totally forgot.
Yeah.
I don't know about the starter packs though.
I mean,
Um,
yeah, either way, it'd probably be around the same price, maybe cheaper than here in North America.
most
Yeah,
likely.
because I believe it released in 2013,
Yep.
the Stars
Yeah.
Adventure.
Early
So
2013, if I remember correctly.
later than the release elsewhere. So it
Yeah.
makes sense that maybe it was a little cheaper.
and it also has, if I remember correct, or can talk. There's the assets from Skylanders Giants in it, right, Jesse?
Yeah, I thought it used assets from Giants.
Oh, like in the game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that either.
The only thing that's like kind of sad about it is like the lighting in the game is kind of worse.
Really? I've
Yeah.
never seen like the actual gameplay of
You haven't
the Japanese
played
game. I
it
knew it was
yet?
different, but I have a Japanese Wii U.
You
Pretty
don't
sure
need a
that's the only way
Japanese
you
Wii
can
U.
play it with.
You could just mod a North American console.
I don't even
to
have a North American Wii U.
Jesse, not everybody's a nerd.
No, I just never got the Wii U.
Yeah,
I
that's
had
fair.
my Wii. I was good back in the day.
That's absolutely fair. So you were back in the day, SSA was Wii for you, huh?
SSA through Trap Team was me for
Really?
me, which I haven't realized till recently the difference between like a Wii Trap Team and a PS4, PS5 Trap Team. That's what I played. I loved it. Like I didn't care about graphics. I mean, now I still don't really care about graphics. But
I
back in
mean,
the
you
day,
just
I
want
mean,
your game to look, playable instead of just absolute crap.
people say that about Trap Team,
I
but
never
it was
said that.
no. I'm not targeting towards you. I'm just mean in general. A lot of people like to come at Trap Team specifically on the Wii for that, but it was playable. I played it when I was I don't know how old I was, like 12, 13. I enjoyed it, and I had no problems. I mean, I was the target demographic back then, but like, sure, if I went back now, there'd be some notable differences. But it's the Wii. I mean, what are you gonna expect?
Right. But I have you ever played the XPEC version of Skylanders Spyro's Adventure?
I haven't.
Ooh, there is some very noticeable differences. Like for example, the chaos level or whatever, the layer of chaos at the end. Where in the Wii version you would go around and just do all the segments and get the keys. In XPEC, there's a straightforward path, and you'd have to go onto these platforms that would rotate up to like a battle arena. You'd get the key, and then it would rotate all the way back down. Very
Oh.
interesting. There's
See, I love
obviously,
this because I know very little about like the differences in like those two styles of games. Like I know all about the figures, like the physical figures. I don't know much about the. I haven't played Spyro's Adventure in years. I
you're
haven't
one of
turned on
those
my Wii to
gosh
actually
darn
like.
collectors.
I'm a collector, man. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I love collecting the figures over actually playing the game. Which don't get me wrong, I love playing the game. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I played or why I kept buying the figures back in the day. But my knowledge of the minor differences in like the XSpec and
Toys for
Wii
Bob.
versions, Toys for Bob of the game, is like I didn't even know what you just mentioned, and that's like a pretty big difference. Like I knew there was like small animation differences between like characters and stuff like that, but
Yeah, there's
stuff like that.
definitely
And
some like weird niche things that we are aware of that we don't really have to be aware of.
yeah, but I mean it's so cool to learn that stuff. That we're how long? 13, 14 years into the franchise and I'm still learning about stuff. I love that.
Yeah. It's kind of sad because like I know way too much, and it's like it's very rare that I learn something new, and it's kind of like sad at this point.
You gotta appreciate those moments when you learn something.
Absolutely, knowledge is key. So, as a part of collecting, um, I know you have picked up this pretty interesting product that you've added to your collection, the Chris Chan Imaginator.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that. Okay.
Yeah, we are.
That's true. I did pick that up. I haven't talked about that publicly for a few reasons, know, knowing the controversy. But yeah, a create your own Imaginator card was technically the last thing I needed for a complete base set, which is a term that I use that not everyone likes, which is just including every figure except for chase variants, all in-game variants, trap molds, creation crystal molds, magic items, whatever. And technically speaking, a create your own Imaginator card is on that list. And that was the last thing I needed, and I was waiting on it because they're pretty expensive. They go on eBay, even like random like kids creations go on eBay for like $300-$400 for just the NFC card.
Ugh.
And I was like, well, if I were to get one, I don't want little Johnny's like random creation that's just a bunch of parts thrown together. I would want something that's like actually noticeable. Like my main goal was like Sir Hoodington, a Sir Hoodington Create Your Imaginator card. But I understand the chances of coming across that and the cost that would probably come with that. But then I saw not too long ago the Chris Chan Imaginator card, and a friend of mine loves to talk about the lore of Chris Chan, and I was like, this is perfect. It was the seller was offering me what I thought was a great deal, and so I was like, well, this is it. This is where my of all things for the Imaginator to be on this card, this is what it was. This is what it was. And I imagine you're referencing this because Boombringer was actually another person trying to win the auction on that card.
That's one of the reasons.
And so not long after that, once I found out that he was also bidding on that, I messaged him about it, which is really funny that people. I mean, I'm sure there was a ton of people.
He's holding his grudge against you. That's all I'll say. He's not happy.
Is he really?
Wow. No, he's not. And it's not just.
Obviously.
So the reason why he and all of us are not happy with you is because you won't preserve it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. And you know what? I love this. I mean, I love. I don't love people not liking me, but I love people telling me that they don't like me for some reason. I totally understand. I went through this with Happy Birthday Ben Starcast, which is a different story here. I totally understand being upset with me because I won't dump my figures because, well, I mean, it's piracy. But that's just like my ethics as a collector.
Hold on, I have to scream real quick. Ah!
Okay. But that's just me personally. Here's the thing, though, about specifically the Create Your Imaginator card. I did message Boombringer about it and told him that I'd be more than willing to like give him all the parts and like size, all like the settings for the character that he can just like recreate it and put it on a magic creation crystal card. And I thought that's what he was going to do, but I don't think he asked me more about that. So
I'll do it. If he won't, I've got a magic creation crystal. I'll do it.
Like I said, I'm like more than fine. It's not like I'm trying to gatekeep this to myself. I don't care if anyone can use their character. I'm more than fine in like giving away all the colors and the parts and whatever. I just don't associate with dumping the figures and putting out that kind of thing onto NFC cards. That's not to say I have anything against the people that do that. I totally understand wanting to play as a certain character and the price of the character being outrageous. It's just not something that I like to endorse or something that I even deal with.
And that's completely fair. I understand wanting to keep everything legal, but I will tell myself, after you leave, I know Jesse's going to be like, bruh, that guy, I'm going to fight him. I know for a fact. Because
I get it.
Jesse here is big on preserving things. Like my copies of PS4, Trap Team, Superchargers, Imaginators, he brought his modded console over and he's like, I'm going to keep these files safe. And I will beat you over it. And he threatened to come into my house and steal that shit from me if I wouldn't. But obviously, I let him do it. Because, you know, I do understand where you're coming from with the piracy and stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like
the thing about the piracy is, like, I'm not worried that Activision is going to start knocking on my door and, like...
I mean, I'm going to start knocking at your door.
Okay, well, maybe I should be worried now. But, like, beforehand, I'm not worried about any legal trouble. Like, it's just an ethics thing as a collector. Like, it's just my personal opinion of what I want to do with the figures that I'm collecting. And I mean, preserving it is one thing, but also like these figures are going to last a long time if you take good care of them. Like, they're not going to start dropping off after their 10-year lifespan.
Yeah, like most people say or whatever.
Is it fine if I say a few things though?
This is a podcast. Say whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
so
just don't get too angry.
I'm not gonna get angry.
I mean,
I was
love
gonna
the
ask
honesty. I mean,
if you're gonna be maintaining figures and stuff like that, have you actually made a dump of it, even just to keep for yourself, for whenever eventually the tag does die?
no.
You probably should do that.
I am truthfully not worried about getting to the point where tags start dying. Yes, obviously they will. There's a good chance that they will just not last. I mean, they won't last forever, but they won't last a long time. But this type of technology, with keeping them in good care and not like dropping them into boiling water.
Actually, that won't kill the tag.
Well, then, even if I were to drop it in boiling water, whatever happens to it, I think they're set for a long time. It was another podcast actually that interviewed Robert Leyland, who was I don't know his official role, but he worked with like the Portal of Power and stuff, and he tested using rewriting a chip on a Portal of Power, and it was like millions and millions of times. And he said that he broke the Portal of Power twice before he could break just one chip that he kept rewriting. So I feel, with that evidence, I feel very confident that these figures are not something that are going to just start dropping off any day now.
Right. I mean,
But
it's kind of interesting.
I understand the community that wants to preserve it. There's nothing wrong with that. I get that. It's just not something.
Yeah, and you're right, because you did spend the money on it, so it is, yours.
Well, it's not even.
Well, I like shake my fist at you, probably a little.
And I will take that. I understand why.
But I will take up that offer if you're willing to tell me, what hair, what this, what that. I will do that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more than fine
that's the closest we'll get. But another thing I will ask about it is there any way you can do a proper photo scan of the actual card?
Yeah, I mean, I could do that.
That works. I mean, I'm happy with that.
The back is Chris Chan made like a custom like stat card, like photoshopping like a Transformers trading card and put like Skylanders over it. So I actually didn't take that off. I left that there as a little piece. So the back of the card is not the normal back of a create your own Imaginator card, but the front is fine.
Keep it as original as possible. Like, I mean, original as in like how he had it.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't it kind of like weird to think about that one of the most disgusting people in the world had that card and that shirt?
It is very weird. I don't want to talk about the controversy of that person just because there's so much in that, but
absolutely,
knowing the lore that Chris Chan, like, also his association with Skylanders, he loved Skylanders, like, knowing all the you don't have to know all the lore about Chris Chan, which I don't, but a friend of mine
know too much,
knows a lot about it and like informed me like they were really into Skylanders at the time and it was a contest that they gave away these NFC cards, and there was also 3D printed versions of their Imaginator they gave away.
I don't know if it was a contest. I think in the creator app you're able to
No, I'm saying like they bought the figure in the card, but then they gave it away on their channel in some contest. Like there's a whole like wiki just for the lore of Chris Chan, and in there is like a page about the Skylander card in 3D print, which is funny.
Wait, did he have a 3D print?
Yeah, he made multiple.
Ooh. I'm gonna look into this. As much as I don't like the guy, I might have to do some research.
Yeah. Also,
yeah, I mean, if you can separate the person to like just the items they made for that are Skylanders related, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to do, but yeah. What are you saying?
I get that, but
I was gonna bring up another thing too. Like, if you do decide to make a dump of it, what happens if you reset that dump in like Giants or something and then put it back in Imaginators? Will it still be the Chris Chan Imaginator, or will it be a Creation Crystal? That's one thing I've wondered about these custom Imaginator figures for a long time, and honestly, it'd be cool. It'd be a cool thing that you could maybe contribute towards research about the
Yeah.
figures.
And obviously, if you don't want to give the dump away, that's fine. If you wanted to make one for yourself, so you could rewrite that dump to the like the actual card once you test out that theory. I mean, that'd be. I mean, I wouldn't see a problem with that. That's up to you, though.
I won't be messing with any. I know you're trying to convince me, but there will be no convincing of me dealing with any of that kind of stuff. But I also get it
Shaking
for
my
research
fist.
purposes. I mean, I don't know the answer to that. I would imagine there's some difference there because the card itself registers as like a 3D printed card or a create your own Imaginator card in the collection menu. Like it's not a creation
Ooh.
crystal. And I feel like there's got to be something underlying that they had to write in to the code for it to just be able to put a submitted Imaginator from the creator app just right on the card. So I mean, there's no need for the actual like creation crystal animation or process that you would normally need to make Imaginator. But who knows? Maybe they built it off of a creation crystal, and
That's very
I mean that could be
interesting.
exactly that. So
Yeah, now I really want to buy one for myself. So if you ever find a good deal, send me the listing.
they don't come around often, but I've seen a few different cards on there. So I would say like maybe a couple times a year, maybe 1 or 2 times a year, a
Oh,
card will pop up. It's not usually cheap, but I mean, if you want one for yourself, they're technically out there. They're just
I gotta know
quite
a guy who
interesting.
knows a guy.
They're kind of crazy when you think about it, because like even cards that have the most random compilation of parts into into an Imaginator will sell for hundreds of dollars just because the collectors are need that piece for their collection. They're willing to pay that price because it's technically a different piece that they need to collect. So
Yeah, and I see that. My
blame it on the
question,
collector.
like, and this is kind of going into that collection aspect. I know you can't answer this, but that's birthday Ben Starcast. Now,
Listen, I will
obviously,
answer pretty much any question you have
I know you
besides
can't
personal
answer.
questions. Except here's the thing about the Happy Birthday Ben Starcast. I totally understand wanting to know like how I got my hands on it for like a personal reason. So it's like someone comments asking so they can hopefully my answer will help them come across them. But even if I could say where I got mine from, it would not help anyone finding their own, unfortunately.
Right, because it's
The
just
whole deal
some
with
other
that is
person.
the person who sold me that was very nice, very awesome. I asked for permission to even make the video about that figure because I mean at that point, pretty much we've seen a few images of it, and that was it. There was no video footage of the figure. Like you could barely even see the box in a high resolution from these pictures that we had. And so I wanted to be able to supply that imagery for people and like decent images of the figure. And he was kind enough to allow me to. I mean, obviously, at a certain point, I paid for it. It's my figure, so I could do whatever I want. But I wanted the seller's permission because it was theirs, and they were generous to work with me, and even for me to have that is awesome. But a part of that was them asking not to reveal at any point how I got into contact with the person, who this person is, whatever. And I mean, I respect their privacy. They were willing to work with me there to get me a historic piece for my collection, which I greatly appreciate. And I just won't be talking about that in terms of their requests. So
Right.
I understand that could be disappointing,
No, I'm
not
fine with
the
that
answer
because I
people
knew
want to
you
hear.
wouldn't
But
be able to answer that. But
yeah, but the whole thing is like, even if I mean, physically I can say whatever I want, but I'm not going to out of respect for them. Even if I
absolutely,
did, it just wouldn't. It's just like a little lore piece. Like it wouldn't help anyone find their own. As much as I would love to help people find their own figure, it's not like I'm trying to be the only person, which I'm not. There are other people who have come across that figure.
very hard.
It's
There
just
was only like 1,000 made or something, if that.
well. So the rumor is 2,000, And that's what they say the production number is, or that's what one guy said, one employee said, and that's what everyone goes off of. But there's also confirmed production numbers for things like the Frito-Lay promotions, like the clear hot dogs, and it was like a little over 6,000 for the total 3. And if you were to break that up evenly, let's say 2,000 figures of each colored clear hot dogs, you see a bunch of clear hot dogs on eBay. And so to compare that to a Happy Birthday Ben Starcast where we've seen maybe a total of 10 different figures, it's really hard to say.
That's generous of a number.
Yeah, it's really hard to say that there for sure were 2,000. Sure, maybe there was, and they're all in the hands of kids that went to that birthday party, but I think it's still a mystery.
They're probably in some landfill or something. I will find
Or they just never made it out. Again, who knows?
I mean, no matter if I'm a celebrity or not, I wouldn't want 2,000 different people at my birthday party.
I mean, I don't know what Tom Brady was doing over there, but got a lot of friends, I'm sure, once he
Probably
he get that
kissing
popular.
his kid or something.
Again, I won't get into that. I'm separating the people from their Skylander relation. Too many controversial things.
Yeah, have you heard about the Skylander that Osama bin Laden owned?
What?
The Osama bin Laden Skylander?
What are you talking about?
Nothing, I'm just making something up. That sounds kind of realistic.
Nothing like that. Let's keep this podcast clear of controversy here. We're only here for Skylanders.
Or are we? Have you heard of a game called Fortnite?
Fortnite? I don't know if the listeners of this podcast would be too happy if this turns into a Fortnite conversation.
They don't.
But to answer the question, I've heard of Fortnite. I've been on Fortnite. A little too much, probably.
Hey, I mean, we've all been there. I mean, at least I, Jesse, you, Boom, a whole bunch of people. But that's beside the point. On the topic of Fortnite, have you seen the magic creation crystal in Fortnite?
Yeah, I mean, I made a kind of ironic video about like all the similarities between Fortnite and Skylanders. They have, I mean, I think it's quite a lot. Obviously, they're pretty generic, like floating islands or characters named Robo, but the creation crystals is a big one with the they're called like alien something.
Alien artifacts.
Alien artifacts. That's like, it's a pretty close piece there. Obviously, I highly doubt they're like, oh, let's copy the creation crystal.
What about the two-armed slam bam?
But I mean, it's interesting to make those connections that the alien artifacts were made to customize a Fortnite skin, and creation crystals you customize, create your own Skylander. It's just, I don't know.
I think we're just deprived of Skylanders content. We're willing to just put red strings together on a pegboard.
I also agree, but
hey,
maybe that'll help push a Skylanders X Fortnite collab in the works. I don't know.
That'd be very
it would go hard. I'm telling you. It would.
I mean, Crink 90s as Prism Break or Gil Grunt. That would be wild.
I'd buy it. I'd spend money on the game.
Oh, absolutely. There's like supposed to be a Five Nights at Freddy's collab that comes out within the next couple of days.
I've been seeing that.
Yeah.
But also that's just speculation.
It is.
Who knows? Could be nothing, which would make a lot of people upset. But
I hope it is a Fortnite collab because I have a good chunk of change in my pocket, and I wouldn't mind throwing it out at Freddy Fazbear Fortnite.
Oh, hope Epic Games is listening. You hear that?
Yeah.
Just offering you guys more money. Not that you need it, but
yeah, I feel like Toys for Bob needs that money.
I don't know what Toys for Bob's doing.
I don't know either. I'm trying to get an internship with them.
They're doing their own thing. It's probably Spyro, but whatever they gotta do to be successful.
So they might. I think they teased a possible Trap Team 10th anniversary thing.
They teased something?
Yeah. So back when the Giants one came out, it wasn't like a live stream, but when they did the anniversary thing, they said that they had something in the works about 2 years around the corner. Here we are, 2 years around the corner.
I didn't even know they said that.
Yeah, so
I hope they do another stream or just a video for the anniversary. I think that's great that they did the first two.
Yeah, I think it'd be even cooler if they like just drop a new game on us, but
I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but I think that's a little stretch there. But
Yeah, I'm
who
gonna keep my
knows?
hopes up.
Yeah, I've made it to the point where I just. It's not that I don't want to be hopeful. It's that I think I'm
Hopes are
more
gonna get
realistic.
crushed. Yeah,
Well, I've been in this community since. Well, I've been buying the game since 2011,
right.
and I've seen everything from all the fake leaks between when Imaginators stopped, like 2017 came around, people realized there's not going to be a seventh game. All the fake leaks that came with that, like it was a different time in the community back in 2017, 2018,
Yeah,
and I think now I'm kind of like fed up with everything. I'm like I'm chill with what we have
yeah,
right now. I mean, I'm still
and
collecting figures. I don't have a full set yet. I'm happy with with what's been released.
yeah,
But I
and
totally
with
understand that the
people like
people.
Jesse bringing back the old stuff, like the mobile games, it's definitely
Sure,
given
that
us a
too.
lot more content as well.
But on the other hand, I also get that there's some newer people in the community that weren't like buying figures actively as the games are releasing, and they have a different mindset on that. So I don't mean to crush anyone's hopes because for all
Oh,
I
we see
know,
how it is.
they could be working on something. But I guess I've just felt more realistic about it as time went on.
There, and what's really nice is like people will do fan projects or whatever, even if none of them get released, which none of them have, I'm pretty sure.
That too. I mean, the Skylanders community has some very talented people in many different aspects.
Very much so.
Especially the modding community, which I know very little about. But I know there's talented people in there. I mean, like Jesse, I don't know if you count yourself as being a part of the modding community. I don't
Oh,
know if that was
absolutely. I classify it
throwing
as
people
that.
in together, but I mean, there's talented people everywhere in the franchise, and even outside of coding and stuff or whatever. I mean, there's artists that make some cool stuff I see on multiple different platforms. So
As
yeah,
long
I mean,
as
there's
it's not
also people.
rule34.com. As long as you're
Agreed.
not looking there.
Keep that away from family friendly over here.
Oh,
Family
you're
friendly.
supposed to be family friendly, but you
I
came onto a
am.
podcast where little family friendly children aren't being so family friendly.
I will stay family. My channel's family friendly. I'll stay family friendly. But
This bank
I
account
still,
is not family friendly.
what are you talking about?
My bad, chat.
But that's just something I've been doing since I started the channel. But also, when I started the channel, I was much, much younger. I didn't even know what a swear word was. So that's just how it goes. Which I don't
Yeah,
mind.
I wish I could stay clean. Makes it sound
It's
like I have a
not,
drug problem.
it's not like something that's difficult to do. It's not like I'm itching to say something. I mean, I totally understand my audience. I understand that there are young people into Skylanders, and they just don't want to be watching someone swearing at toys. Like,
That's fair. I can see
yeah,
that. I think it's funny though.
that's not to say there's anything wrong with that content style. Dude,
No,
post
I
whatever you
see
want to
how it
post. That's
is.
just what No, no, no. God, I'm not coming at anyone. You gotta stop pointing fingers at me like that.
I love
You
doing
know I
that to
don't mean like
people.
that.
People will come on and give their opinions, and then I just say, "Oh, I see how it is," and it makes them go, "No."
I'm just pointing out the differences in the community, and that's another reason to love the Skylanders community. It's so different. That's all I'm saying.
Uh-huh. I see how it is.
That's all I'm saying. Genuinely, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And that's kind of another topic to get into, content creation.
That's a big topic.
Why did you do this? What have you
well,
done?
well, as of this year, it's actually my 10th year making Skylanders videos, and
Congratulations, Grandma.
that, thank you. I'm an oldie here, but I mean, when I started, it was my first video was unboxing a Skylanders Swap Force Mega Block set,
I remember seeing it.
and I've been at it ever since. And I started because really just watching other content creators at the time, specifically Skylanders content creators, because that's all I watched. back then. I mean, the OGs, obviously people know Skylander Boy and Girl, Corn Out TV, 8-Bit Theater, um, Family Gamer TV. There's so many others.
Oh my god, bro! Just like rang all the bells in my mind.
There's just so many others that I didn't mention that
Oh, it's
I
been a
watched, and
long
watching
time.
them inspired me to do my own thing. Obviously, I was very young when I started, but um, that's just where I started, and I haven't really stopped. I mean, fortunately, I'm still as obsessed with Skylanders, so that's definitely helped.
Yeah,
Obviously,
it's
can't
kind of
work
what
on this
happens when
stuff.
you spend so much money on it.
That's true. Maybe I feel guilty for myself. I do have a problem where I just can't get rid of things. Like I'll get duplicates of a figure and be like, well, you never know. I might need a second, I don't know, pinata for whatever reason.
Or
But
358 food fights.
that's a different story. But I can't speak on that because I have a lot of extra Pop Fizz. I don't sell any of my duplicate Pop Fizz. I'm in the same lobby with everyone else.
You should sign
So
one, send it to me. Oh wait, who said that? What?
I am not getting rid of any of my Pop Fizz. I can't do it. I got to keep my Pop Fizz army strong, even though it's not
Chat
worth
ban this guy.
anything. I'm stubborn. It's gonna be
I
hard
see it.
to try to convince me to
Dumb
do something.
figures.
That's just how I am.
Chat ban this guy. But you know what? If I get free sky sleeves, you know what? That's just chill.
Yeah, hold on. Maybe I can revoke the gift there.
Oh wait. I've been a good boy this year. Don't do that, Santa.
I'm just playing.
Yeah.
I gotta be careful though, for what I say, so people just don't start asking me for stuff.
Don't ask him for stuff.
Please don't.
Leave that to me.
People have. Please don't. Not everyone gets stuff thrown at them.
But I can, because I'm cool.
It's a repayment for the podcast episode. How about that?
Bro, I should be repaying you. I'm riding off your clout right now.
There's not much clout there. We're having a good time. We're having a little
Absolutely.
podcast combo.
We could keep
Nothing wrong
talking
with
about
that.
Skylanders, or we could keep talking about how much I'm gonna like beat you up for not preserving your figures.
Let's hopefully keep it to Skylanders.
You wanna fight? But on the topic of Skylanders, what's your favorite game?
Okay. My favorite game is Imaginators.
Oh my god, bro.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm so done.
Get it out. Get it out now.
Thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, it's
He embodied the comment section. Listen, here's the thing about picking a favorite game. I've said this already in the podcast, but we are in a different time in the community. Back in the day, you could say your favorite game was, I don't know, Superchargers Racing, and people would be like, "Oh yeah, that's cool. That's a cool game." Now I think it's a very different era.
Yeah.
Where people are very passionate about their favorite games. And by the way, to say that my favorite game is Imaginators, that's not saying
it's the best.
All the other games are horrible, that I hate every other game. I love every single Skylanders game. It just so happens that the way I look at it is, if I were to take one Skylanders game that I could only play, I could only have one, which game would stand out above the rest? And that is Imaginators. That's not just including the gameplay, that's including the figures that release with it, like the actual quality of the figures gameplay, like the variety, the roster. And then, of course, obviously the gameplay has a part in that, and there's so many different aspects of the gameplay. But I mean, like I said before, I'm more into the actual collecting aspects and the physical figures than the game. That's maybe why I have a different opinion, because I know Imaginators is not the fan favorite overall.
Oh, absolutely not. It's sad.
Which, again, everyone has the right to their own opinion. You can love or hate a game.
Except for this guy.
I love every single Skylanders game. It just so happens that if I were to pick one of the rest, it would be Imaginators.
You know, if I had to pick one, for me, and you know, I'm kind of right there with you with the controversial takes. I choose Superchargers because no, it isn't because Hot Wheels or something. It's because the game is very pretty when you're not playing it on like Wii, which I know you might not know a lot about. I'm just giving you shit, but Superchargers is an absolutely fabulous game when you play it on the right system, especially if you can crank up like an emulator, get it on 60 frames. Feels like I ascend.
a lot of games like have their strong suits. Like some games do things better than other games, and I think like it depends on the person. Like obviously that's why everyone has their own opinion. That's why there's not a wrong answer to the best Skylanders game. Everyone can love a
Almost
Skylanders game more. Like if you care more about the actual story of the game, you're gonna like one game more than another. If you care more about the actual figure selection of the roster, you're gonna like this game over the next. Like
okay,
just
but like whose favorite game is Ring of Heroes?
well, I thought we were talking console games here, but someone out there,
Yeah.
someone out there likes Ring. They made the game. Someone's gotta like it.
Yeah, and for as much
They're
as I
probably not
give
that into
people,
Skylanders.
huh?
The people that love Ring of Heroes like as their favorite game probably aren't as into the console games. But again, there's nothing wrong with that. You can like Ring of Heroes as your favorite game. If you like that style of game, there it is. There you
Yeah.
go.
Even if it doesn't exist anymore.
Even if it doesn't exist anymore.
For long, wait until Jesse gets on that.
True. There you go. Bring it back.
We're putting you on the spot.
I played. Did you guys ever play Ring of Heroes?
Oh, I did. I played a lot of it.
Yeah.
A lot of
I
it by
played it.
like 2 minutes.
Okay. I genuinely played quite a bit of it. But I also did get pretty bored of it.
Yeah, I was kind of dealing with a lot of personal stuff at the time that it came out to when it ended, so I never really got a lot of the chance to. Which
No.
I really regret. I really wish I kept it around and like had all the stuff still installed on my phone so like we could preserve it, which is so illegal.
I have the app still downloaded on my phone. I have like a little like folder on my phone that's just Skylanders, all the old Skylanders apps that I never deleted. I still have
Yeah.
on my phone a little folder, like a little digital collection, like an album right there.
Not even a point of asking, hey, you want to help contribute to the preservation?
That's already done.
I don't think there's much there. They're all like unplayable.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I think
actually,
you know the answer to.
actually, pretty much every one so far except Ring of Heroes is fully playable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Thanks to Jesse over there, as well as like every other person in the reverse engineering server. Everybody's contributed greatly to keeping these games alive.
there you go. Shout out to the big brains in the community because I know nothing about that stuff. So, big ups to you guys.
collectors are so stupid.
Yeah, well, I'm on the plastic side. You guys are on the technical side.
You know, I'm kind of there too. I've got a pretty big collection myself. You know, I don't have a birthday Ben Starcast or a Chris Chan Imaginator to flex, but you know, I've got a signed Chaos, or I've got a signed by Richard Horvitz Skylander, which I know you do too.
There you go. Yeah, I just posted about my signed chaos, which is so cool. That's just so cool to
the
have.
red marker was such a good idea too. It made it look really.
I was thinking of the colors. I was gonna do blue, and then I actually forgot that the chaos box on the back also had the like crossed out Skylander and written in chaos because I remember the single pack chaos trophy that released had that on the back, but I forgot that the actual Imaginator chaos packaging had that. And once I saw that, I was like, okay, we're doing red marker for sure, or it was a paint pen specifically, whatever it was.
Well, it turned out amazing. I don't know if you've seen the picture, but I ended up getting a Dark Spyro signed by Richard Horvitz.
I saw your video about it.
Oh, you
It came
did?
up on my page, so
Why am I popping up on all the SkyTubers pages? I should be popping up on all the audience's pages.
the podcast. Everyone found out. I mean, honestly, I didn't. That's how I found about your channel. Was talking about the podcast.
Really?
And that's awesome.
Well, that makes me feel good about myself.
There are so many SkyTubers at this point.
Oh,
I think back to like 2018, 2019, where like there was like maybe 5 people still making Skylanders content.
If that.
And like everyone was like, "Oh, this is the end. Like final nail in the
Sure.
coffin. This is like Dust Town over here." But I mean, now there are literally hundreds of people that like I can't name them all. Like I used to name them all on one hand back in the day when people that were left that were still posting. But now there's so many people, which is great. That's not a bad thing. That's
especially because if Activision looks down and sees that there's a thriving community, they're more inclined to bring it back.
There you go. I think Ignite the Fire recently posted a video, and he did an amazing job, like capturing a lot of the people that make Skylanders content nowadays. And there's so many names in
I
there.
hope he didn't talk about me.
So
Oh, is it
shout out.
Denver?
I mean, he probably did. I mean, there's a ton of people in that video. And if he didn't, he literally says in the video, comment if I didn't include you so I can find your channel. He's always talking about other SkyTubers, so shout out to him. He's really cool.
Yeah,
There's a
I
lot of
can't
cool
wait
people
to
in this
be in
community.
your next year's exposing SkyTubers video.
Oh god, I honestly don't want to make another one of those videos.
Should do it anyways,
You
because
could
I
tell
want to
in
feel.
that video I was just grabbing for straws at like some of the most random things I started saying.
Yeah, it was kind of funny that everybody, like, a lot of memes sparked from it, like, Deer being Mr. Beast. That was funny.
Yeah, I saw him do something for April Fools about that.
Yeah, he actually
That's really
changed his
difficult.
whole server to, like, a Mr. Beast server, or, like, he changed his
Yeah.
profile picture or something. It was funny.
It's funny that he took that and ran with it.
Yeah, it was awesome. It's awesome when people can take a joke.
I mean, yeah, it was pretty obvious. I don't think anyone got upset by that video.
No.
He was pretty obviously sarcastic, but that was the whole point. So,
Dude, I was watching the video and I was like, by some off chance he knows who I am.
honestly, I mean that. I mean, no offense. I just didn't. I don't think I did know about you.
Oh, I take all the
Back
offense.
then.
I see how it is.
Come on now. There are hundreds of SkyTubers I do not know about.
Yeah.
There is. It is impossible to keep track of everyone. But I know about the channel now. So
Yeah.
there's that.
And that's awesome. But I also really you know, kind of talking about like the community and stuff with making the podcast. Like my whole goal wasn't just to get all the big guys and grow my channel, although that was one of the reasons. One of the biggest reasons was I wanted to bring people together. You know, you've got your videos, you know, Boom has his videos. They're all scripted. They're all, you know, talking about this one topic for 20 minutes. And here we are. We can talk freely about whatever the hell we want to talk about for as long as we want to talk about. You know, there's no script. This
Yeah.
isn't professional at any point. You know, it's just kind of fun for everybody to just kind of take a break from the scripted format and just talk about Skylanders.
That's true. A good majority of my videos are scripted, but I mean, here you go. Here's a lengthy piece of content that is not unscripted. So yeah, I mean, there's stuff that people want to see, and I think a lot of you could bring on a lot of different SkyTubers that have a lot of interesting things to talk about, and that's why I said before this is a great idea, this podcast,
Yeah.
and in the fact you keep bringing on different guests.
And I mean, you
Oh.
know, it's a great idea when people are trying to copy it. We're gonna not name drop anybody, but I've got some beef with some people.
Really? Well, there you go. I mean, people are already trying to copy it. You must be doing something right.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Props to you.
Yeah. But yeah, even if it isn't a SkyTuber, there's a lot of people that I want to bring on who I just see are very talented people. Like I don't want to name drop, but one of our final few episodes, which is the next two, I have somebody on who doesn't have an internet like or a YouTube presence at all, but he is like one of the most like smartest people when it comes to, or they, sorry, is like one of the smartest people when it comes to Skylanders stuff. Like they literally learned a whole language just to know all the Skylanders lore, and it just,
Wow.
yeah, I mean, way to dedicate yourself. And I want to have them on and like talk about all this stuff because it's very interesting. You know, everybody's got their own
Yeah.
backstory and everybody's got a story to tell. It'd be awesome to have everybody on, but
Exactly. I mean, that's why it's interesting to listen to these. Like, I'm sure if they
absolutely.
don't have an internet presence, a lot of people will learn about from not just this person that you're talking about, but like more guests that you have on
Yeah.
that aren't obviously not just SkyTubers. There are other people in the community that have a lot to talk about, which is really awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of awesome bringing everybody to, I mean, not kind of, it is awesome bringing everybody together
Yeah.
because it's also really nice. I don't know if you get comments like this, but I've gotten, you know, several comments, you know, like if I'm just chilling in, like, for example, Deer's live stream, like I've gotten several people who have been, is that Shojiki? Ah, I watched all your podcast episodes. I love that guy. And
Yeah.
I'm a small creator. I've got almost 600 subscribers, and that, like, those comments, even though for someone as big as like Mr. Beast, right, he's gonna look at it and be like, okay, cool, and just go on about his day. That stuff affects me for the whole week because
Yeah.
that's, you know, even though that's, you know, just some random person, who I don't know, they appreciate my work and my time and my dedication to entertaining people, and it's it's awesome. And what's even better is when you get comments that are like, "Oh, I completely forgot about Skylanders. Oh my god, thank you
Yeah.
for bringing me back into it." And then there goes their wallets, and it's all your fault, but it's really interesting to see when you bring people back into this, because that's kind of what happened with me. Like, I think this person named Portal Master, Boombringer, Crypt, they all kind of like, and a lot of other creators brought me back into the franchise within the past couple of years. And especially like with Jesse getting into it heavily, like this whole series, like I didn't realize how much this series meant to me.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Skylanders community, I don't want to like jinx anything. Obviously, there's things I don't know about, but like at face value, there's like so much positive people in the Skylanders community, which I mean, I was super grateful for. I think just because it is like obviously a smaller community and like not a lot of people still mess around with Skylanders, that helps. But I think just overall in general, like there's so much positivity, a lot of people supporting others, and I mean that's awesome to I mean keeping things either growing or just like keeping the pace that it's at right now.
Yeah. Wow, we're so boring right now.
I mean that was where my sentence ended.
Yeah.
I don't know how long you usually let these episodes go. I don't even know how
Um,
long we've been going for,
we've
but
been going for about an hour and 6 minutes now,
well,
which is awesome. Actually, I wanted to talk to you about something. I feel like this is the perfect time, even though we're recording a podcast, and I
yeah.
shouldn't
Give me one
publicly
more
announce
topic, man.
this, because this part's gonna get probably cut out if I remember to
Oh,
cut it out. But I'm working on a project, right? You know how earlier I was talking about fan games?
yeah.
Yeah, so sorry guys. This is future me talking. Um this segment's obviously cut out. So it's like what, 1 in the morning right now while I'm editing. So sorry guys, I have to cut this bit out, but it's pretty cool what we're working on. Now, I can't say much at all. Actually, there's a lot of things we're working on, but what we're talking about in the video here, I can't talk about quite yet. But when it's out, you guys will know, and it's gonna be great. So hopefully, I'll have something to announce around possibly early 2025, maybe. I'll have something to announce, but obviously I can't tell you anything right now. But me and the people working on this project are working tirelessly to make sure this is perfect for you guys. And so far, we've got some pretty good progress on it, so I'm kind of excited. But yeah, this bit obviously is gonna be like cut out, but this is where I'm talking to the Skylander dude, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is the cool project, and I'm just asking him to be on board with it, in terms of like whenever it comes out, do a video or whatever, and it's gonna be cool. Again, I can't say anything about it. I'm just like, I'm edging you guys so badly right now, and dude, I wish I could say something, but I can't. Sorry, guys. So while we're sitting in silence, you want to go down and make sure you're subscribed? That'd be great. I'd love some more subscribers. Currently, I'm at like 560, a little bit more, maybe. But yeah, I've been growing pretty well. I might start doing like some YouTube shorts again, maybe do a little bit better. Yeah. So thank you guys for listening all the way to, what is this now? An hour and 8 minutes, an hour and 9 minutes. Yeah, no, yeah, it's cool. I really enjoy making these podcasts with people. It's really cool to like get to know people, and yeah, I've got a couple of people I want to get on. As for why every intro has been glitchy lately, so yeah, thank you guys again for watching all the way in. I know it's like 2 minutes and something seconds, but yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with this. It means a lot that you guys enjoy and watch these. It actually does. But yeah. Well, that's all I have to say.
Gotta lock in here.
Yeah, we totally weren't talking about some insider information. That'd be really cool in the future. Totally not.
My lips are sealed.
Mm-hmm. So what do we talk
Which
about now? Jesse, what do you have to say to him? Are you gonna be angry at him for gatekeeping?
I'm just upset about it. I'm a little bit upset about it because you're not trying to contribute towards any research, even though you have stuff that no one else has.
I
And
get
even
that.
if it doesn't get publicly released, it would still be cool for researching because then we might be able to reverse engineer some stuff like that.
And I totally get that. I don't mean to be like a bad guy.
No, we see how it.
That is obviously
Exactly,
not
that's how
my
I see it.
intention. I think it's just different when like, and again, I'm not like trying when I show off a cool piece of my collection. I'm not trying to like sit here and flex about it. I just like sharing these pieces with the community. And so one thing that comes with that is, I mean, obviously the people wanting to preserve the actual NFC data of it. And again, I know we've already talked about this, and I get everyone's like side on that, and I won't keep going in on this, but
We're gonna wave our fists at you.
it's going to be hard to change my mind here. But the thing is, there are other people in this community that have really, really cool pieces in their collection, but just because they don't have like a platform in which they show it off, like some people don't even know about those things that exist.
Right.
So I will do as much as I can to like sharing information in terms of research purposes without actually pirating any of my figures. But it's not like a gatekeeping thing where I'm trying to keep something for myself. Heck, I barely even use these figures in the game. We already talked about it. It's just
I mean, like some people you could talk to stuff about that who you could likely trust with figure dumps like that would probably be people like Neffy or Nefarious Tech Support because they're the owner of the reverse engineering server.
And she hates piracy.
well, it's not like anything about like I'm worried about the process or anything. It's just my opinion, just where I stand, and unfortunately, well, I'll bring up this for specifically the Happy Birthday Ben Starcast, because that was a big thing when I showed that off. A lot of people reached out to me asking for the dump of that figure, and I get it in terms of preservation, but at the same time, as far as I'm aware, there is nothing
Different from Clear Starcast.
Yeah, there's nothing particular about
Yeah.
the Happy Birthday Ben Starcast. The only difference that I know of, I mean, in the collection menu, it doesn't show up differently. They're both the same special tag. They don't show up as two different Starcasts. You can only see the one with the special tag. The only difference that I've seen is when you place it on the portal, it starts at level 1, 0 coins, instead of the level 5, 2100 coins that normal chase variants have. Besides that, it is the same tag as Clear Starcast.
Yeah, and all that data is likely just written at the factory before the figure was packaged.
Right. That's another thing. There's mysteries about this figure that expand past the like actual technology or like its use in the game. Like, well, I've learned some things, and I don't want to say something I shouldn't, but
You should do it anyways.
But I won't. I mean, we don't know if the figure was like hand packed in like the Toys for Bob studios or something, because I know my box in particular has like a crease on it. That's like a very weird spot for a crease. Like you wouldn't have that crease there from like it being in a factory. Like, so I asked the seller about it, and he was like, well, like he didn't even know. Like he doesn't even know like the ins and outs of this figure. So there's a lot that we probably will never know about it, which just interesting stuff to have these pieces that are such a mystery. And I'm grateful to have a little piece of that in my collection.
Yeah. And another thing kind of about that, it's been really nice to kind of talk to you about that, like this kind of stuff, and get your stance, especially where like preserving figures and stuff. Because although I would heavily encourage you to do it, and obviously you are in that right to not or do it. I think it's really cool to kind of get your side on it, so I can properly understand why you wouldn't do it, and why you choose that kind of stuff.
For sure.
And
like I
it's
said, I
yeah, it's been
totally
really
get the
nice.
other side. I get the other point of view, and I'm not trying to convince anyone. That's not my point. It's just I understand your stance. Here's my stance. Unfortunately, at this point in time, that's where it's gonna be.
Yeah. Well, if there's ever some small Mexican kid breaking into your house, wasn't me.
Okay, let's hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Let's work towards
Wink.
a different solution, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I have really anything else to say. Jesse, if you want
Yeah,
to
same
continue
here.
going off about how much you hate him or whatever.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't gonna say that. I'm.
It'd be
It
good for
makes
the
me feel.
pod, man.
It makes me
Have some
feel.
solid beef here. Even if you don't, let's start something.
No, it makes me feel better knowing that you actually explain your perspective on it.
Yeah,
It
and
makes me feel a little bit better about it, and there's some actual reasoning to it.
yeah, and
But
that's what
yeah,
because me like Jesse, even before we started, he's like, "Oh man, I hope we can convince him and all this stuff," and I'm like, I don't know if we're gonna be able to, but hey, let's at least try and
Yeah,
understand, where he's at with it, instead of just being, upset at him or holding a grudge, because we never really met you before this. I mean, we've talked in, DMs or whatever, but
yeah, for sure.
yeah, and I
Which,
think I like these podcasts because it, as well as the viewer, it allows me to get to know you or, any
agreed.
of the other people. I think that's really cool,
I
and I
agree. I
really
think other
enjoyed
people
having you
can.
on.
Thank you. I hope other
same
people can
here.
see that and also learn something about, I guess, my stance on hating people who preserve figures. Obviously, it's not like that.
Right.
Um,
We love
but
to be
man, I mean,
sarcastic.
I don't know if you guys like do shorts or whatever, but you can clip this podcast up, title it "The Skylander Dude Has Beef with Us." I don't know, do something like that. Could be
Clickbait.
Well,
good for the
the
podcast.
thing is,
You can clip up this podcast.
you didn't even start it. It was just like
Well, let's
it's
start
just
something now. Got to get a good clip out of
no,
it.
Yeah, exactly. Do it for the funny. Do it for the bit.
no, it's a waste
I'm
of
Actually,
happy,
time.
I
man.
do want to add something. Because we were talking with Boombringer, and he's like, I'd be absolutely on board with doing something with the Skylander dude, but he has to preserve that Chris Chan figure. And
I
I
haven't
told him,
talked to
man.
Boombringer much. I mean, I do my best to like talk to other SkyTubers, just like obviously they don't have to tell me anything they don't want to, but like just to like get to know them as a person because I am grateful to be in a spot where like a lot of them like we've worked together on like a video or something in the past,
Yeah.
and it's really awesome to just meet other people. Like even right now, meeting people for this podcast. Um, but there are a few people that I would love to talk to more and get to know to more.
Well, I think
Boombringer I've
it's
only had a few different conversations with, which obviously apparently didn't go over as chill as I thought they were.
yeah.
But
So what's kind of funny? I don't know if I should like start leaking this. I don't think it really matters too much. But he
you can
was
cut it
like,
out.
whenever you said, "Hey, I've got," obviously you didn't say it was the Sky Sleeves at the time, but hey, I've got something, I want to send to you if you can, do something with it. He told me the reason why he didn't respond is because he scrolled up and saw the messages about the Chris Chan figure and got reminded of everything and was like, you know what? No. Until this guy
Hey,
does something with the dump, I don't want anything to do with it.
I respect. I did reach out to a few people that just either didn't say anything or respectfully declined, and that was okay. I mean, the whole point of like reaching out to people was just to get their opinions on it, so I can like have a good like okay, like yes, these people are like my friends or like I relatively know them, but like I want them to be honest with me. Like if I'm hopefully I know these people well enough that they'll be like, well, if it sucks, hey dude, this sucks. And I pride like Skylandier for being honest in his video. I know you joked about the hammer earlier, but
Yeah.
I think that's awesome that he tested the durability of it. And people have asked me like, oh, do you have beef with him now? I was like, no. Like what? I gave him those as a gift. This wasn't sponsored or anything. I just wanted his opinion on it, and I wanted him to be honest. And I commend him for doing exactly that.
Yeah. I'll be very honest if you like send out a
And
free gift.
please, please, please do.
Yeah, no, because in just like you, I think the whole Sky Sleeves thing is a great idea, and obviously I don't have the same passion for it because I didn't spend all that money on it, but I
It's
can
not really just the
see,
money thing. It's honestly more of a time thing. Like over a year from where I got the idea of it, and then I really sat down and was like, okay, maybe this is feasible if I put this much effort into this project. And so obviously I'm biased and have like that connection to the product and the company, but
Yeah. Well, I think,
it's just good to
starting
get
a
other people's
business like that, although risky, you learn something from it. And I think,
very true.
you're probably like one of the only people who have tried to start anything as, big as something like this. And I applaud you for it because, you know, sure, people have probably thought of this kind of idea before, but you're the first one to go through with it and actually make it a pretty big thing, even if it, isn't as big as it should be. You know, I
Well, thank you. It's only as big as people are gonna let it be, and that's totally fine. It's the whole thing is I want people to like it. I mean, it's something that I genuinely wanted to exist. I wanted to have this for my own collection, and since there isn't like an equivalent to it specifically for Skylanders, I mean, I had to be the one to do some action here and put it out there. And at the very least, I'm happy with it. And I mean, I have some for my own collection, so I can't be disappointed.
yeah, I think it's, and again, I'll keep saying it. I think it's awesome. I mean, it's gonna be even awesome when I just get someone, but like, I
I
think,
appreciate that.
because me myself, and I know Jesse has some of these, but we have like these plastic cases that'll go around like even our games.
Mm,
Jesse does a lot of collecting for an obscure game called Mr. Driller. If you've heard of it, I'd be so surprised. Um,
I'm not,
one of these days,
unfortunately.
Jesse, one of these days we'll find the one. But
Yep.
he does a lot of, because it was an old PlayStation game. Well, obviously it had all its different things, but he has a whole bunch of like these plastic cases um for his copies. And
Hmm.
ever since I got my own little plastic shelf for SSA Wii U, I was like, man, if we had something like this for Skylanders. And what do you know, a month later Sky Sleeves gets announced and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah,
Have I bought any yet? No.
No.
nothing
No.
wrong with that. I appreciate the support from the outsider's
But
perspective.
if you
Seriously,
do another wave of them,
that would be very far in the future if I ever get there. But I would love to. I worked a lot. I worked very hard on these ones, so I'm kind of chilling right now, just working with what I have, taking a
yeah.
little break from the headaches that was putting that together. So,
And
but
it's kind of done. And, you've got the hard part out of the way. Now it's just the
that's
waiting
true.
game.
And now it's just getting it out to people and getting their opinions,
Yeah.
which I love to hear. Like people messaging me back about either what they're protecting or their opinions on it. So it's great to hear that feedback.
So if I throw like a gill runt into one of them and shake it up and for some reason it breaks, I can sue you, right?
No, you can't, unfortunately.
Yeah, very
That's why I
unfortunate.
make it very clear. Sealed figures and their respective games listed on the sleeve
And
to
has
avoid any
anybody,
confusion.
I don't know if I can ask this, but has anybody from Toys for Bob reached out to you about this?
Um, no.
That is
I don't know if I would
surprising.
be able to say anything if they did, but no, I can confidently say that there is no issues there. I worked very hard with my lawyer to make sure that there would be no overstepping of boundaries, that I would be a-okay, because I wanted to be very careful with Activision's trademarks, and I'm very confident that I've done that, but I do not want to jinx anything.
I mean, if they can sell, bath bombs or like curtains of Skylanders, I'm pretty sure they'd be okay with you selling
Well, the
their
difference there is that
protected
those are
licensed,
officially
right?
licensed. Yeah, there's no official connection or endorsement with Activision with Sky Sleeves.
Honestly, with how peaceful of a company Activision is, I'd be surprised if they had a problem. Like, or I mean, not really Activision being the peaceful, but like Toys for Bob VV, like I'm pretty sure they'd be fine with something like this.
Well, Vicarious Visions doesn't really exist anymore.
Right, but you get
Twist
the
Bob is
idea.
like not connected with Activision, so it's more of like a Activision slash Microsoft thing now. But I get what you're
Still
saying.
cross your fingers.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Well, let's hope
crossing
your
any boundaries.
lawyer
I
is
don't want
Saul
to do
Goodman.
anything. I just want to make sleeves and make people enjoy them. I don't want any problems.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna enjoy some of these. Obviously, pack of 25, $90. That's a lot of change.
They add up, but if you divide it up, it's cheaper to get it in multi-pack.
Yeah, let's
And
see how
I
much.
also appreciate feedback of people saying like, "Hey, this is expensive," but at the same point, this is the cheapest that I can possibly
Yeah, because
make them
then
at this
you've
at this
got all
point.
your sellers stuff. In the
Right,
legal
there is a
world.
lot that goes into it. I mean, at this point, I'm making nothing, but even if I were to be net zero, I'd be making very little profit. This isn't a thing that I want to be sitting making money on or being greedy. Like, this is something that I'm passionate about and want people to also get a chance to have. And when you compare this to like other protectors, even for like standard action figures or even like Funko Pops, I mean, the price is pretty on par with what other companies are uh, creating, and obviously companies that are more successful and have a much bigger audience can offer a much cheaper discount. But
Yeah.
at this point, I am satisfied with where Sky Sleeves is.
Yeah, no, I like, yeah, I
And I'm
think
sorry,
it's,
this
I
podcast has
know, but
turned
like you're
into
the Sky
a
Slaves
lot of Sky
guy,
Sleeves.
and also, I really like the idea as well, and I think it's amazing. And
I appreciate that.
yeah, and I mean, if I can get the attention to go over there and for, somebody who has an inbox figure, I would highly recommend this. I mean, how
That's
else are
not
you gonna protect it? Like,
exactly. I also want to take this time to say that if you ever saw like someone make any skies or anything, make a video about it. That wasn't me asking them to make a video. When I gave them specific SkyTubers Sky Sleeves, it was just
they
as
give
a
your
gift, just to
opinion or
say,
some.
hey, like you're allowed to post whatever you want, but be honest about it.
All
Like this
right.
is just like a gift, just to get feedback about it before it goes to the general public.
Oh, that'd be so
But
funny if
also,
I
thank you
like
to anyone who
did
did.
a video on it, but instead of just a hammer test, like I actually like set it on fire, like throw it into the ocean and see how well it stands up.
You can do that, but I have never claimed that Sky Sleeves can protect your figures from hammers, drowning, flames, anything like that.
You heard it
But
here, folks. I
you can
totally
do whatever
didn't
you want
edit
to
him
do.
to say it, but yeah, he just confirmed that
Oh,
he
come
wants you
on
guys
now.
to do.
Are you the one who wants legal trouble here?
Yeah. I don't have Saul Goodman on my side.
Nah, it's
Yeah.
all good.
I think that's pretty much where we're gonna cut it, because if we don't, we're just gonna talk about Sky Sleeves the whole
Yeah,
time.
no more Sky Sleeves. It's good place to end it off. I
Video
think it was
coming
a
up
great
though.
episode. Yeah, all the comments were like, he kept talking about Sky Sleeves.
Well, it's cool, okay, chat?
It's a big thing.
It is.
I think it is, and I'm biased. So
Maybe it
that's what
isn't as
happens
big
when you
in the
bring me onto a
money,
podcast.
but yeah. Well, I'm glad to have you on. I'm glad you accepted it and didn't say, "Oh, you're too small of a channel for me."
I don't know why I would say that. Why you think I would say that?
Nobody's done it thus far,
I
but I
hope
don't want
nobody
it.
said that.
Yeah, I don't
But I
want to.
appreciate you bringing me on.
Yeah,
Uh, it was a great time chatting with both of you guys. So yeah, thank
absolutely.
you for putting this podcast together. I hope you find more success in it and get to have some awesome conversations with other Skies Ubers, people in the community.
Yeah,
And we can do this again sometime. Be cool to
absolutely.
come back.
Yeah. Maybe after you get like all those figures preserved, but that's beside the point.
For sure, for sure.
All right. So thank you guys for watching, and thank you again for coming on, and thanks Jesse for sitting there in silence, as always.
No problem.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Go check out his go check out Skylander dude and his funny little Sky Sleeves project, which we've been talking about. I'll put the links for all of that in the description. I'll put a link to Jesse, and then while you're down there, of course, subscribe to me so I can
Yep,
continue to do this, and I can buy more Skylanders and then more Sky Sleeves.
for sure.
Okay, that's enough. Take care, everybody.